Hi, I'm Dr. Mark, and I'm going to help you sing and perform more like the top artists around the world. I'm a professional voice teacher, performance coach, and opera stage director. I've helped thousands of singers around the world learn the techniques and methods that got the top singers to where they are. Let's talk about what makes Michael Bolton and Jona's performance of How Am I Supposed to Live Without You so awesome. Here we go.
The song goes like this. This is Brian Beckvar on the piano. I could hardly believe it when I heard the news today. I had to come and get it straight from you. He said you were leaving, someone swept your heart away. From that look upon your face, I see it's true.
Okay, a few things to notice. One, he's getting a little older. And so you'll notice when he turns, there's stiffness down his neck, especially in the back. You fans of Michael Bolton probably know what's going on here better than I do, but that's normal. Get older, things get a little harder to move. Fine. What's cool is he's still trying to stay as relaxed everywhere else as possible. He does have to kind of do a Batman move where he turns his whole body and to talk to someone instead of just using his head. But that's fine. Again, we as an audience can understand the limitations of being human. What we can learn from them is how positive they are towards each other and towards the audience. Those active verbal cues can seem a little hard to do and maybe overdone. They don't seem like that to me here, but they are really important for the audience and for each other to know that we're all in this thing together, right? And it brings them in and makes the audience feel more empathetic towards him. And I think it's probably genuine as well. So awesome. One of the things that you'll notice here that makes his sound unique is you're not seeing a ton of upper tooth smile here. You are a little bit, you'll see it, they'll come out, especially as he goes up to that middle range. But here in this verse, in this beginning, you'll notice that it's mostly just lazy mouth, a little bit collapse in the back, that placement's further back. And that's okay, he's got a mic, he doesn't have to work hard. It's in his lower range, and it creates this kind of unique sound. Is this a sound that we're gonna wanna do super loud and super high? No, probably not. That's going to probably really fatigue things out here. But the bottom, he's probably just fine. Obviously he is. He's still getting older here and still rocking it and doing an awesome job. So it's worth saying, hey, this is potentially another color that I could put in my toolbox and use at the best time possible.
So tell me all about it. Tell me about the plans you're making. Tell me one thing more before I go. Tell me. Now that I've been loving you so
Okay, I want you to notice here when his teeth come out versus when they don't, the difference in sound. The amount of forwardness, buzziness, resonance when they do. We lose some of that when the lip comes back down over this top teeth. It makes it so it's a little more mute, a little softer sound. That softer sound works really well with what's going on musically. So there's a reason why it works, and it's worked for him. He's obviously had an amazing career.
I know what I've been living for is gone.
Too proud for crying, didn't come here to break down. It's just a dream of mine, it's coming to an end. And how can I blame you when I build my world around? Oh.
Okay, interesting here as you're listening to her, you'll see those top teeth come out, but she's singing with this rounder sound too. It's not a lot of space in the back like we've talked about. Not this yawning smile that we hear in a lot of pop singers, rock singers. There is some of that in there for sure, but she's adding some of this height, this roundness in back that's giving it its warmth and a little more romantic, full, rich sound. That matches what he's doing. So awesome. It makes it a little softer, a little warmer, a little more romantic, and she's doing an awesome job with it. You'll notice though, like him, when she gets that middle higher range, those teeth come on out and we get closer to that There's more space in the back. There's more of that yawning smile in this oropharynx area, and it brings that sound nice and forward. In general, her placement is much more consistently forward, and it's a lot kind of cleaner. She doesn't pull it back and mute it quite as much as he does, and consequently, it's a lot easier, freer, moves with some more freedom, and is a more youthful sound. Go figure. She's a ton younger, but even if she wasn't, that is still going to make it sound more youthful, and it's a gorgeous sound. Really gorgeous. This is the first time I've heard her, and really, really beautiful singing. And she's obviously very charismatic on stage as well. Cool. Costume-wise, you are singing together with other people. You'll want to think about what they're wearing versus what you're wearing, and make sure that it's going to work and complement each other. In this case, it works just fine. And she's a featured guest artist here on his number, and he's already seen a huge, long career of success. And so it looks gracious for him to give her this spotlight in this moment. And indeed, it is. He's the one who packed this house for the most part, probably, and she is a guest, and she can take the spotlight and rock it like she is. Really cool.
One day we'd be so much more than friends. I don't want to know the price, I want to pay for dreaming. Oh, even though it's more than I can say.
There's the upper tooth smile and the though she still kept some more height in it, which kept it warm. What makes it work? Why it sounds so great going up, sounds so smooth, is she's keeping that airflow consistent. It's going to feel like you're just kind of cry whining all the way up there instead of punching each note and really trying to punch for the top and give it extra intensity. Don't do that. Just keep it nice and consistent. Keep that air flowing really, really smoothly, consistently, a little bit of air traveling fast. Try out a straw. Try an oovostraw if you want. They're pretty awesome. Try a stir straw, whatever you're going to use, and be able to sing through the entire song, keeping that airflow super consistent. If you can, you're going to find that your sound goes from an amateur sound to a much more professional sound, no matter what you're doing with the rest of your voice. That's one of the dead giveaways that we're hearing in amateur versus a professional. So do your straw work today. If you're looking for some resources on how to do that, you can look up oovostraws. They have some really great videos on how to use their product that can be applied to any stir straw. Or you can go on and look for YouTube videos on stir straws. I have a few, and there's some other really great ones too. And just start playing with it, experimenting with it. It's awesome. Here, what we're hearing from her and him is this really consistent, smooth airflow, which frees up the voice to be able to shift and change shapes in the vocal folds to give us the different pitches, and it keeps things from getting overly locked in tense other places. It just is really, really crucial to find that balance. So give it a try. Okay, look at their body position. Body position is they're for the most part facing each other, turned out slightly to the audience, which is awesome. It keeps us included in the conversation. She keeps looking at the audience more than he does to keep them engaged and keep them a part of that conversation. He's just in the moment, his song doing its thing, keeping it nice and easy, keeping it engaged in his face. He's not being super expressive with his body, but it works because just who he is kind of understated. You see it in his face, it still looks genuine and authentic. And that's great. For her, it wouldn't work because she is younger and because she, by default, even at the beginning, was much more expressive with her entire body. And lo and behold, she is moving a lot more and is a lot more expressive, and that's exciting. They're complementing each other really, really well here. So that's really fun to watch. Only bummer here is that I have this drummer in between them in the middle. Now, most likely that's just because looks like it's a fan cam and it's the angle that they had to work with. That's fine. But if you can avoid having another person in the middle visually of a duet, that's usually what you're looking for. Why? Because that movement, again, is going to draw our eye, and it feels like there's someone in the way. There's a third wheel, and it's just kind of awkward. Again, no one's fault. It's just a matter of being in an arena, and someone's going to have that angle, but probably not my first choice, right? You'll notice, though, with the lights, that it's not a huge deal. It's super nitpicky, and that he's not in white light like they are. He's in the background in blues, and so he does diminish in the background. It's not a super big focus. If he was in whiter lights and more was hitting him, then it really would be distracting, but it's not. And so what we learn from that is having a lighting designer who's really conscious and aware of how to draw attention and focus to where the focus needs to be by getting them in the right light and muting others is really important. And whoever this lighting designer was did a great job. Looks beautiful. Okay, notice how he gave the attention to where it needed to be. Whoever had the solo, he turned his back towards the audience and watched them with him. He engaged with his band. He didn't disconnect from the moment. He just stayed engaged with the music. That's a really gracious thing to do on stage. She followed suit, did the same thing. You'll notice then he's going to sing. He came down, his movement then drew his eye back to him. She stayed stationary so that we knew that we were supposed to be looking at him. So he gave the stage to the people around him when it was their turn, and he took it back when it was his turn. Awesome. She's doing awesome too, because she did the same thing and she hasn't taken the stage back yet. She's letting him have the foreground and giving him attention and letting him be the center of what's going on like he should, because he's about to sing. So really great teamwork here all the way around. Really cool. That was lovely. How cool to see this classic song done in a multicultural setting, different people all getting along, playing happy in the sandbox together, and making really gorgeous music. That was awesome. It's the first time I've heard her sing. What a gorgeous voice. Wow, what a gorgeous voice. One of the things that it made me think of is it's really pretty operatic in nature. She really has a taller, more type of position in this mouth. Try it. Try singing more with that, and you'll notice it gets this rounder, fuller sound. What makes it pop sound like pop is still, we see this upper two smile. She still keeps some in it, and the vibrato isn't super consistent. It's at very specific points that are stylistically appropriate for pop, like she's doing here. They're both doing. You actually hear a lot of vibrato in there, but you also hear a lot of straight tone back and forth, which helps us hear that it sounds like pop. Obviously, the other stylistic things musically of these riffs and other things lend to its pop quality as well. But wow, what a really gorgeous voice that's super consistent and rich and warm without it being swallowed, and it's just pinging present at the same time. They both look so comfortable and relaxed on stage, and it just is really easy to watch. So, to me, what I'm seeing here are two performers on stage that are just having a good time and look like they're at home on that stage, and I think that's awesome. Don't forget to click subscribe and like. Check out the links down below. There's some cool stuff in there. If you want a voice lesson or performance coaching or want me to work with you or your group to help you sing easier, perform at a consistently higher level, book a time with me at mrperformingartsstudio.com. I look forward to working with you online.